Good morning, friends. 9 o'clock today. How are you doing today? I have a question. Do you know how many meals you're going to eat between now and the end of the year? It's a fair question, right? How many meals are you going to eat? Because as a health coach and as someone who wants to see you win all the way to the new year, I think breaking it down a little bit is very helpful. That's why I called this winning all the way. Plus, it sounds a little bit like jingle bells. Anyway, let me give you a few pointers. Number one, we have 20 days left until the new year. I know that sounds crazy, right? 3 weeks as of yesterday. If you eat 3 times a day, do the math, that's 60 meals. If you eat 6 times a day, like what I teach in my program, 6 small meals a day, that's 120 meals between now and the beginning of next year. Crazy, right? That's a lot of opportunities. Now, why would we freak out about a few meals in between? How many holiday gatherings are you planning between now and then? I've got on my list a total potential of 7. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. There's 4. And then I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Do you have 2 more holiday parties to go to? There's 6. And maybe just one out there, I don't know. You're going to be watching the national championship the week after New Year's, whatever. But if those are your planned events, think about this. 7 out of 60. 7 out of 120. What a crazy thought to really be getting worked up over, what is that? 11%, 5.5% of your total meals over the next 2 weeks. You're freaking out already about what you might or might not do. Or maybe you're not even thinking about it. You're just like, you know what? Whatever comes, comes. And if I do well, I do well. If I don't do well, I don't do well. What do you think is going to happen there? So I got thinking about this. How could I help somebody win all the way to the end of the year? How could I help somebody get control, have control, be proactive going into these next 2 weeks? And I was reminded of school. Really? School? Why school? Well, here's why. If you're my age, I'm 53, I'll be 54 next year. Imagine how the math works there. But I remember in school, the teacher would make us write down the notes off of the bulletin board, or the in our case, the chalkboard. You may have a dry erase board, you may have a virtual board, but you get the thing. We would have a notebook, and the notes would be up there, and we would have to transcribe the notes as we're looking up, and we would have the notes in our notebook. Now, we all thought it was because the teachers didn't have enough to teach, and so they were just giving us busy work. But the truth of the matter is, when you write something down, it sticks. There is this connection between your writing device and your brain that makes it more real. There is a connection that makes it more permanent. There is a connection that helps you to remember it. And they knew this back then, but I think a lot of us have forgotten about it now because it's just so easy to, put the old phone up and go, ooh, screenshot. But there is a permanence to that process. In fact, if you think about it, most of the business personal development gurus talk to you about writing down your goals, that they're not real goals until you've written them on paper. Why is that? Same connection. So I was thinking about that and I said, okay, if I can give somebody the framework to write down what their plans are from now until January 1st or through January 1st, I could give that same connection and that tool to help somebody be proactive. And so that's what I did. I sat down and I created this thing. Could you get a notebook out and write down all the things? Yes. Are you going to do it? Probably not. In fact, let's face it, we want somebody to spoon feed us and spoon feed us and spoon feed us everything that we need to do what we need to do. And so I was thinking, okay, how can I make this simple but effective? How can I give you a framework? How can I give you a framework, but yet still continue that connection? Right? How can I keep that framework? So this is what I'm saying. I have created a nice little worksheet. You like it? It's pretty, isn't it? You can print it out. It's got big spaces in it for you big writers, right? And what I've done is I have taken each of the opportunities, holiday parties, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and I've broken it down to where you can write in the boxes what you're going to do. That's it. Write in the boxes what you're going to do. Okay, I'm going to a holiday party on the 15th. We know that they're going to have appetizers. We know they're going to have desserts. And yeah, I might have a couple while I'm there. Write it down. Because when you get there, this will stick in your memory. When you get there, you'll say, okay, here's my one plate. Here's my 2 drinks. Love the eggnog or cider or whatever. Moscow Mule. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, all those things. And then you have a framework. Now, the question is, how do I get Dave's framework? How do I get this nifty sheet that Dave gave me to print out? Funny you should ask, because you know me, I am going to give you what you need to build it. And it's not going to cost you anything. If you go to spechealth.com/winning, shoot the QR code, I will send you this in your email. No obligation, no question asked, no randomness. Simply put, you give me your information, your name, your email address. I'll put this in the email to you. You'll have it within minutes of you hitting submit. And then you print this out. You print it out. Remember, we want to have the combination of the writing and the paper. And I want you to fill out everything that you plan on doing between now and January 1st, or now through January 1st. I want you to win. So why would I set you up for failure by not giving you a framework to go off of whatever plan you're on, or at the very least be proactive in the variations that you're going to be doing? Now, maybe you're a rock star and you put zeros all in this. But let's be honest, most of us are going to put something in these blocks that will give us a framework to be real. I don't want you stressing out, because stress leads to bad decisions. When you're stressed, you react. I want you to be proactive, because at the end of the day, you want to be winning all the way through the end of the year. And this framework can do just that for you. Winning every day. Go in with a plan. I think about Captain Cold. I don't know why. But, make a plan, work the plan. Plan goes off the rails, get a new plan. This plan won't go off the rails because you're in full control. If you go through this and you adhere to what you wrote down, remember, you're in control. You're in control. And you go through the plan, guess what? You come to the end of this winning. You come through these next 2 weeks winning. And isn't that what we all want to do? We want to come into the new year not with a sense of guilt of, oh my gosh, I really lost it over the last 2 weeks. No, we want to come through saying, I accomplished something and now I am ready to step in, to step up and really hit 2023 on a high note. How would you like to go into the new year knowing that you've already accomplished something that you set out to do? That is the key. It's not about what goes on the sheet. Heck, put 10s on there if you know you and you're just like, look, I'm just gonna get plastered here, so I'm gonna have 10 drinks that night. You know what? At least you wrote it down. At least you made the decision before you got there, and at least you held on to what you said you would do. It's a win. And I want you to win. God bless.